All right, hanging out here on campus with Vaughn, Weems, returning to the Wolfpack, and it sounds like you never gave it a second thought. Just take me through that process from the end of the season to recommitting to Nevada.
Um, my whole process really was just like, you know, I love it here. They supported me, walked me through everything. With it being my first year at the Division I level, they really took their time and their patience with me, and I really appreciated that.
So it sounds like it went a long way in terms of that first year and wanting to keep things rolling. I guess a lot of folks were looking at you and Elijah specifically as the big pieces that fans wanted to keep around. How many conversations did you guys have together about running it back?
A little bit before he signed, he texted me and was like, I think I'm about to come back, and if I come back, I want you to come back. And I was like, I really appreciate that. And, I didn't really give it a thought about leaving. So when he texted me that, I was like, I'm all in if you all in. Let's run this thing back. Let's win this Mountain West.
It's a solid core to start with. Let's walk through your first year at the Division I level. You mentioned the Wolfpack giving you that awesome opportunity after a standout career at the junior college level. Maybe what did you learn about yourself? What did you learn about your game? How do you feel like it improved throughout the season? Because you really came on, especially the last 10 or 15 games.
Man, when I came here, I realized I had a lot to learn about the game of basketball from where I was at. Like specifically, not even really just on the court, like off the court, like in the weight room. I was a little behind in the weight room. Like my first couple weeks in here, I said, "Dang, these are really some dogs out here. I need to lock in on this hoop stuff." But yeah, like when I got here, I was just like, I need to really lock in with this hoop stuff because this stuff can take me really far, and it's something that I need to help with my family and everything else I got going on back home.
How much did having a guy like Steve Alford and Craig Neal and some of those guys that have been through this and played a lot of high-level basketball, coached a lot of high-level basketball, what did it mean to have those guys as mentors to help bring you along?
It was really great because, like you said, they're guys that have been where I'm trying to go, so they have those experiences and those connections that I need to get to where I want to go, and I really appreciate them.
And now in this NIL era, obviously you're an employee in some regard, and you're going to be making good money to play for Nevada. How much does that just rise your level of professionalism and just how, like, you got to be on your P's and Q's? Like you said, it's not typical student-athlete life like it used to be.
That's what just gives me motivation. Like, they're paying me to come out here and do what I love, so why not go out there and give it everything I got and repay that, what they're doing for me. Why not repay that back to them?
You guys obviously tasted a little postseason run in the NIT this year, but I know you guys are all probably thinking NCAA tournament or bust this next season. I guess, what did your first year with the Wolfpack and some of the really high moments inside Lawler Event Center and maybe some low moments elsewhere, how much does that fuel you? And just, what was the experience like?
It was really a great experience. I really loved this year just because of all the places I got to go and the crowds I got to experience. Because coming from the JUCO level, my crowds were maybe only like 2,000 people or something like that. But going into like a packed Utah State and packed New Mexico, those are the type of moments that all hoopers really live for. And I was really excited to get out there and go compete in those environments.
What can you say about the support you have in this community? And I can imagine there's been a lot of DMs, a lot of tweets, and a lot of comments and reactions to you coming back, and that probably just shows how coveted you are in this community.
I've had a lot of interactions actually. Like just last week, I was walking down to the corner store and I seen a couple of people like, "Are you Vaughn Weems?" And you're coming back, right? I was like, "Yeah, I am." They said, "We love you. We can't wait to come back to some more games next year and support you guys and win." I was like, "Yeah, I can't wait either."
That's not why you do it, but how cool is that to know that you actually are making an impact because you guys have so much on your plate, you're so focused that maybe you can forget about some of that stuff. How cool is it to see that in real life?
It's amazing. Like I get it out here. When I go back home, I get the same thing from random people I don't even know. And it's a real blessing.
All right, what do you think of the roster makeup? We can't talk about every individual name at this point as they wait to officially sign, but a lot of folks I think are excited about what has been put together with you and Elijah kind of at the forefront of it. What are you thinking?
I think it's going to be a real competitive group that's coming in here hungry and want to win more games than we did last year. And I think it's going to be an exciting time this year. So make sure everybody come out and pack out those stands every game so y'all can come watch.
What did you take from year one that you really want to focus on in this offseason in terms of your game?
Just being more of a leader, like a vocal leader. Like I'm the kind of guy where I lead more with actions than words, but just coming in next year, leading with my actions and my words a little bit more. So like the whole team can see, I'm all in, so I need all y'all behind me so I can have the utmost confidence I can to do what we need to do to win.
Can you give us a little peek inside some of these spring practices? I know obviously the whole group isn't here, but what's it been like in there as the limited time you guys get on the floor together?
We've just been working on like little details to help improve everybody's game, on the court and in the weight room. Mainly in the weight room. We all trying to get a little bit bigger.
As you should, especially this time of year. We touched on it before we pressed record. You never officially entered the portal, but in today's day and age, that doesn't mean that schools or agents can't contact you. Did you just go out of sight, out of mind with all that, or was there some prying attempts to try to pull you away from Reno?
I mean, yeah, there was a couple little places that tried to get me to leave, but, Reno's where my heart's at right now, and that's exactly why I stayed. I love it out here, and I love all the fans here, and I just can't wait to be back on that court in front of y'all next year.
Outside of the basketball and being a part of the Wolfpack and being a part of this campus, what do you like about our region? Are there any places you like to go, any establishments you've kind of frequented that are like, I couldn't give that up, whether it's a meal or something?
If I'm being honest, it's really the hot tub up in my apartment at Park Place. I love it up there. I'd be up there like every other day just in there soaking and relaxing, trying to recover from our long, hard practices and days.
That's kind of like your happy place, right?
Yeah.
Vaughn's happy place. I won't ask any more follow-up questions about the hot
Go
tub.
up there, listen to some music, just chill in the hot tub and vibe. I'm cool.
There's worse gigs, that's for sure. Just tell me about what the rest of the summer holds, or spring and summer. You guys are going to have to break here from your spring work in a little bit. You're going to get to go back home to Washington. What's on the docket?
Probably go home for maybe like a week or two, maybe if that, and then come back and just stay going to work. Can't fall off and get back into that mode of, okay, I'm not playing basketball, so I can just chill and do whatever. No, the work doesn't stop. We got to make sure we stay in the gym all the time.
Because other teams are out there working. And, of course, it is a new-look Mountain West this year, and it's a Mountain West that you guys could really seize if everything comes together. How much are you guys looking at that as, like, we're going to be a real contender come the fall, winter?
We knew after last year when we didn't make it as far as we wanted to that next year we got to do some things differently so that we can be on top of the Mountain West like we were supposed to be this year. So we're ready.
All right. Anything else you want to add for the folks while we have you here?
Go Pack. Let's win, baby.
Elijah Price is back with the Pack. Take us through the offseason and the mindset to come back and stay in silver and blue. A lot of folks thought you were going to be out.
Yeah, just wanted to come back to a place that celebrated me, a place that I had a good year at. I really had no reason to leave. I love it here, so that was kind of the mindset of coming back.
Now, while you never officially entered the transfer portal, we know what the game is like in today's day and age. There had to have been some attempted pulling away, some schools trying to pry you away. What was that process like? I can't imagine you were in all those conversations, but how much did you know about that, and what was it like?
Yeah, it was the same as last year. It was probably more this year, but I didn't want to go somewhere and have less of a role at a bigger school, probably make more money, but, that's not what's important to me. I want to be a key contributor on a winning team, and I was at last year, and I know I'll be at this year, so it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, what was some of the messaging from Steve and Coach Neal about keeping you around and what next year could hold if you stuck around?
Yeah, we just talked about me getting better, continuing to work on my game, and getting ready for the next level, because ultimately that's what I'm striving for, not to make the most money in college, but I want to play in the NBA. So I think here they show how much they can develop me this year, and with another year of that, I think I'll be right there.
Yeah, an All-Mountain West second teamer. You had a lot of huge double-double performances this year. What did you take from this year that you want to kind of improve on going into next year?
All around, my shooting improved this year. My ball handling this year, I want to get better at, and I just want to win games. Really, that's what I'm focused on. Between that and just developing my game, those are just my two main priorities.
A lot of Wolfpack fans saw you and Vaughn Weems as the two main priorities to retain this offseason, and sure enough, you guys are both staying in silver and blue. What were your conversations like with Vaughn when it came to running it back?
Yeah, before our meetings, I texted Vaughn. I said, if I stay, I want you to stay. So, and he said the same thing. Like, he was like, okay, I'm about to meet with him, and if I stay, I definitely want you to stay. So we was kind of on the same page with that. We understood that if we came back, we would be a pretty good team. That's a good start. So we just started there, and it turned out well.
We won't go through individual names, but the roster has, at this point, been built for next season. What can you say about what the staff did? Because on paper, a lot of folks are excited about what you guys can do in this new Mountain West.
Yeah, we're going to win a lot of games again this year. That's the standard here, and that's just what we do. So We're excited about all the guys coming in and what they can bring to the table. So we just can't wait to get to work.
Obviously, the work has slowly begun as you get a little bit of on-court time here in the spring. What's it been like?
Just getting back in shape. Took a couple of weeks off to rest our bodies, so now we're getting back in shape, getting all that hard stuff out the way.
For you, before you came to Reno, I guess your first year with Nevada was 3 schools in 3 years. What does it just mean for you personally to have some stability and to know, like, I'm here, I'm locked in, and we're trying to go do big things now?
Yeah, that was a big part of my decision too. Like you said, I didn't want to go to 4 schools in 4 years. I had never been able to return to a school and be stable and be familiar with the faces that were here and the coaching staff. And getting that work in the spring, I thought that was going to be really big for my development. So that was also a big part of why I stayed.
You guys make a nice little run in the NIT and kind of tasting what that postseason can feel like, but I know you guys want to play on the big dance stage. How much did last year kind of fuel you to what you can now accomplish coming up this fall and winter?
Yeah, that's our goal, is to play in March Madness. The NIT was cool, but if we're being honest, that's not where I want to play at in the postseason. It was a great experience. I had a lot of fun, but we're striving for the March Madness tournament.
And now that we're in this NIL world and you are a well-paid kind of student/employee/athlete, I mean, how much does that just rise up your level of professionalism and knowing that you can't really take days off and you can't slouch because there's other programs that you know are continuing to put that work in?
Definitely. We know that everybody around the country is trying to get to the tournament like we are, so we're just trying to put our best foot forward and continue to get better every day.
Outside of campus and being a part of the Wolfpack and being a huge part of the team, was there any other parts of Reno and our community that were like keeping you here and you're like, I don't want to leave this, whether it's an establishment or your house or whatever?
Yeah, just the community in general. Our fans are great. I've tweeted a couple times, like, I just love playing in Lawler, love playing for Reno. So they were definitely a big factor in my decision too. I didn't want to leave them, so definitely.
Vaughn said it's his hot tub at his complex that is keeping him around. Do you have a hot tub at your complex, perhaps?
We live at the same place, so
Okay,
yeah. Yeah.
I won't follow up on the hot tub anymore. Tell me what the summer holds. I mean, are you going to take it? You mentioned taking some time off already, so at this point, are you pretty much locked in here in town?
Yeah, I'll be here. I'm just working out, trying to get better. I might go home for a little bit just to see my family, but I want to be here to get better and work out every day.
What was the reaction from the family and from the coaches when you and Vaughn both said, all right, we're running it back?
They were excited. My family just supported my decision, and they're ready to book their flights to Reno.
Any final notes for Pack fans out there as they anxiously await seeing you guys back inside Lawler Event Center? We got a few months until then.
Yeah, we got a minute, but when November comes, we have to see all of you guys in Lawler. We appreciate your support. We can't wait to see you there.
All right, Elijah, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon.
Yes, sir, man. Go Pack.